After enduring the tempests of life, Tu Tien finally found solace in the embrace of Jack. Together, they built a modest home, not grand or lavish, but brimming with warmth and joy. Their house stood amidst a lush green garden, where Tu Tien lovingly nurtured vegetables, each sprout a reminder of her resilience and the trials she had overcome. Each morning, Jack would rise before dawn to prepare breakfast, the rhythmic chopping of vegetables and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee blending harmoniously with the morning birdsong. As sunlight filtered through the curtains, Tu Tien would gently stir, wrapping her arms around Jack from behind and pressing a tender kiss to his cheek. Their mornings were filled with soft laughter and whispered dreams over steaming bowls of porridge. Though Jack remained dedicated to his work in construction, he never let it overshadow his love for Tu Tien. He carved out time for evening strolls, movie nights, and heart-to-heart conversations. Tu Tien, once fragile and uncertain, had blossomed into a strong, independent woman. With unwavering determination, she delved into traditional medicine under her father's guidance, eventually establishing herself as a compassionate healer. Under Tu Tien's devoted care, Mr. Hoi and Jack's Oriental Medicine Clinic flourished. She became her father's steadfast companion in healing, listening intently to each patient's suffering and tirelessly seeking the best treatments. Her kindness and dedication made her beloved in the community, a beacon of hope to those in need. Mrs. Lai, Jack's mother, cherished Tu Tien as her own daughter. She enveloped her with love and unwavering support, frequently visiting with thoughtful gifts and heartfelt advice. Her presence filled their home with warmth, making her an irreplaceable part of their growing family. Their happiness deepened when Tu Tien and Jack welcomed their first child into the world. The tiny bundle of joy became the heart of their family, binding them even closer. Mrs. Lai and Mr. Hu adored their grandchild, showering them with affection and filling the house with laughter and bedtime stories. Weekends were sacred, reserved for picnics beneath towering trees, cozy bonfire gatherings, and quiet evenings spent cooking together. Jack and Tu Tien also devoted themselves to charitable endeavors, extending kindness to those less fortunate. They understood that love was not just something to cherish, but to share. Yet, life had more trials in store. One fateful day, Tu Tien clutched her stomach in agony, her face ashen. Panic surged through Jack as he rushed her to the hospital. After a whirlwind of tests, the doctor delivered the diagnosis: acute appendicitis. She needed immediate surgery. During the procedure, the doctors made a startling discovery: a small tumor nestled in her ovaries. They performed a biopsy, and the results sent shockwaves through the family. The tumor was malignant. The news struck Tu Tien like a cruel storm, robbing her of breath, drowning her in despair. Yet, Jack and Mrs. Lai never left her side, their unwavering support her anchor in the raging tide. As Tu Tien battled her illness, Tone, an old friend, visited frequently, bringing small gifts and words of encouragement. His concern touched her, but her heart belonged only to Jack. Then came another revelation, one that shook her world even further. A routine blood test revealed a shocking truth. Her blood type did not match Mr. Hoi's. A DNA test confirmed the unthinkable: he was not her biological father. The revelation shattered Mr. Hoi's heart. He had spent his life loving and raising Tu Tien as his own, only to learn that fate had played a cruel trick on them. Despite the pain, Tu Tien remained grateful, cherishing the love he had given her. With Jack's steadfast support, she embarked on a journey to find her true origins. Months of searching led her to a humble farming couple who had lost their child years ago. Their reunion was a moment of bittersweet joy. Tears flowed freely as they embraced, years of separation melting away in an instant. Now, Tu Tien had not one but two families who loved her unconditionally. Yet, before she could fully bask in the warmth of this newfound love, she had to confront her greatest challenge: cancer. The chemotherapy sessions were grueling, each treatment a test of her spirit. But through it all, Jack remained her rock, his love an unyielding force that carried her through the darkest days. After a long and arduous battle, Tu Tien triumphed. The disease may have tested her, but it never broke her. With renewed strength, she and Jack returned to their peaceful life, raising their child with love and gratitude. They frequently visited her biological parents, forging bonds that time had once stolen from them. Meanwhile, Tone, a wealthy and kind-hearted CEO, watched from afar. He had once been saved by Tu Tien during a fateful accident, and in her, he had found a love he could never have. Though his heart ached for her, he respected her choices, choosing instead to stand by as a loyal friend. Tone was not one to harbor resentment. Instead, he admired Jack, valuing their friendship above all else. Though unrequited, his love for Tu Tien remained pure, a testament to the man he was. Surviving cancer changed Tu Tien's outlook on life. She cherished each moment, embracing simplicity and the love that surrounded her. Jack expanded his work in construction, while she continued her healing practice, her heart filled with purpose. Jack was not only a devoted husband, but also a loving father. He spent countless hours teaching their child about kindness and integrity. Mrs. Lai continued to be a pillar of support, and even Tone would visit, bringing small gifts for their son. But life had one more lesson in store for Tone. One day, he received heartbreaking news. His mother, the formidable woman who had raised him, had fallen gravely ill. Realizing how precious time was, he devoted himself to caring for her, reflecting on what truly mattered in life. In a tender moment, Tone's mother confessed her gratitude to Tu Tien, but also mused that had Tu Tien chosen him, she might have lived a more prosperous life. Tu Tien simply smiled and said, "Happiness is not measured by wealth, but by the love we share with those around us." Tone stood in silence, her words settling in his heart. At last, he understood. True love was not about possession, but about selflessness. Letting go was not a loss, but a sign of profound love. As time passed, fate led Tone to cross paths with Zhang once more. The woman who had once loved him had changed, no longer fragile, no longer lost. She had built a life of her own, radiating confidence and strength. Their reunion felt like destiny rewriting its script, offering Tone a new chapter. Meanwhile, as their son grew older, Jack and Tu Tien dreamed of new beginnings. Jack envisioned expanding into financial investments, hoping to support struggling businesses. With unwavering faith in her husband, Tu Tien encouraged him, even as she dedicated herself to healing others. At night, they would sit side by side, hands intertwined, speaking of dreams yet to be realized. It no longer mattered whether they succeeded or failed. What mattered was that they had each other, walking forward together, forever bound by love. A journey of love and triumph. Tu Tien and Jack's story. Tu Tien and Jack's love story was not a simple tale of romance, but a testament to resilience and mutual devotion. They first met in the bustling halls of their college campus, where Jack pursued a business degree and Tu Tien immersed herself in literature. Their paths converged unexpectedly in a poetry class, a space where their differences melted away over shared verses and whispered dreams. Jack, with his pragmatic ambition, found an unexpected muse in Tu Tien's quiet strength, while she admired his relentless drive. Over the years, their bond weathered storms, failed startups, financial strain, and Tu Tien's fragile health, but each challenge only fortified their connection. The day Tu Tien discovered she was pregnant marked a turning point in their lives. After years of struggle, this news felt like a gift from fate, a reward for their unwavering faith in each other. Jack's face lit up with a rare, unguarded joy as he pulled Tu Tien into his arms. "This is our miracle," he murmured, his voice trembling with emotion. Tu Tien, her eyes glistening with tears, could only nod, overwhelmed by a happiness she'd long thought elusive. For them, this child symbolized not just new life, but the culmination of their shared perseverance. Sharing the joy. Amid their private celebration, Jack felt compelled to share the news with someone significant from Tu Tien's past, Loi's mother. Loi had been Tu Tien's dearest childhood friend, and though she was no longer with them, her mother remained a pillar in Tu Tien's life, a second maternal figure who had offered comfort through tough times. Jack arranged a meeting at their favorite tea shop, a tranquil haven tucked away from the city's clamor. The wooden tables and soft lighting cast a warm glow as Loy's mother entered, her graceful demeanor unchanged by the years, though her sharp eyes flickered with curiosity. "It's been too long," she said, her tone calm yet tinged with warmth as she settled across from Jack. "What brings you here today?" Jack poured tea into her cup, a gesture of respect rooted in their shared history. With a gentle smile, he replied, "I have news I think you'll want to hear. Tu Tiên is pregnant." For a moment, silence hung between them. Loy's mother's gaze softened, a kaleidoscope of emotions flashing in her eyes. Surprise, nostalgia, and finally, joy. A rare, heartfelt smile curved her lips. "So, she's finally found her happiness," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Tu Tiên deserves this more than anyone." Jack nodded, his chest swelling with pride. "She's stronger than anyone I know. This child, it's the greatest gift we could ask for." Loy's mother reached out, resting her hand lightly on his. "I once dreamed she'd be my daughter-in-law," she admitted, her tone wistful yet sincere. "But what matters most is her happiness. I see that now, and I'm glad she has you." "Thank you," Jack replied, moved by her words. "We'll cherish this happiness, I promise." The meeting ended on a note of quiet understanding. For the first time, Jack felt the old tensions, competition, misunderstandings dissolve, replaced by a shared hope for Tu Tien's future. The miracle arrives. As the months passed, Tu Tien's pregnancy progressed, her belly rounding with the promise of new life. Jack became her steadfast companion, juggling late-night cravings with early morning meetings, painting the nursery with care, and ensuring her every need was met. When the day of delivery arrived, the hospital room buzzed with nervous energy. Tu Tien clutched Jack's hand, her breath sharp as contractions surged. "You're doing amazing," Jack whispered, his voice a lifeline amid her pain. After hours of labor, the piercing cry of their newborn son broke through the tension. The nurse placed the tiny, squirming bundle in Tu Tien's arms, and time seemed to still. Jack leaned in, tears streaming down his face as he touched his son's delicate fingers. "He's perfect," Tu Tien breathed, exhaustion giving way to awe. "Welcome, little one," Jack added, his voice cracking with love. Outside, Jack's mother and Loy's mother paced the waiting area, their anticipation palpable. When they entered the room, their eyes lit up at the sight of the baby. Jack's mother enveloped Tu Tien in a tearful embrace. "I'm so proud of you," she said, her voice thick with emotion as she slipped a pair of gold earrings into Tu Tien's hand, a gift of blessing for the journey ahead. Loy's mother approached, her gaze tender. "Thank you for this little angel," she said softly, her gratitude echoing in the stillness. Tu Tien smiled, surrounded by love, knowing their family was now whole, not just by blood, but by the bonds forged through years of support. Building a legacy. In the years that followed, Jack's finance company blossomed into a regional powerhouse. Once a man battered by setbacks, betrayals, losses, and near ruin, he now stood as a respected entrepreneur, his reputation built on hard-earned trust. Yet, success in the boardroom never eclipsed his priorities at home. He carved out time for family dinners, bedtime stories, and quiet weekends with Tu Tien and their son, determined to be the father and husband they deserved. One evening, as Jack reviewed contracts in his office, a text from Tu Tien lit up his phone. "Come home soon. Your son misses his dad." He chuckled, shutting his laptop without hesitation. Arriving home, he found Tu Tien guiding their toddler's wobbly steps across the living room. The boy's face brightened at the sight of Jack, and he stumbled forward, giggling. Jack scooped him up, spinning him gently. "Good job, champ," he said, beaming. Tu Tien joined them, resting her head on Jack's shoulder. "How was your day?" she asked, her voice warm with affection. "Better now," Jack replied, kissing her forehead. In that moment, surrounded by laughter and love, he knew true success lay not in wealth or power, but in the life they'd built together. A future forged in love. Jack's ambitions continued to grow. A lucrative deal with a major corporation loomed on the horizon, promising to elevate his company to new heights. Over tea one night, Tu Tiên asked, "Will you take it?" Jack paused and smiled. "Yes, but only if I can still be here for you and the little one." She laughed, squeezing his hand. "I'll always stand by you, success or failure." Their journey had been long and arduous, marked by trials that tested their resolve. Yet, through every storm, they'd held fast to each other, emerging stronger, their love a beacon of hope. Now, with their son's tiny hand in theirs and a thriving future ahead, Tu Tiên and Jack knew they'd earned their happiness, not as a gift bestowed, but as a victory won through perseverance and devotion. As Jack looked at his family, he felt a quiet certainty settle in his heart. No matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, their bond unbreakable, their home a sanctuary of joy.